Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you love fashion like I do, then you know that taking care of your clothes is just as important as styling them. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my best tips on how to keep your clothes looking fresh, lasting longer and staying in perfect condition. So let's dive right into the video. Tip number one is wash your clothes the right way. That involves looking at the care labels of your clothes before you wash them because different clothes and different fabrics require different ways of washing them. Something you should know is that washing your clothes in cold water helps to prevent them from shrinking and fading, especially when it comes to denim. Try to wash your denim in cold water so that it prevents it from fading. Also, don't underestimate the importance of air drying. So what is air drying? Air drying is when you take your clothes outside and hang them there to dry with the sun or the natural weather conditions on the outside. So air drying helps preserve the quality of your clothes, especially when it comes to wools, sweaters, knits. Clothing items like that are really delicate, so hanging them outside, letting them dry outside is the best way to dry them to prevent them from shrinking and dripping. Okay, and also for delicate materials, maybe your stockings, your underwear, try to put them in a mesh bag before you put them in the washer to prevent them from getting damaged. Tip number two is using the right detergent. So like I said, different clothes have different fabrics and certain fabrics are way more delicate than others, so using specialized detergents and mild and fabric friendly detergents for those delicate fabrics helps to preserve the texture, the color of the fabrics. For example, when it comes to wool, cashmere, knit clothes, silk clothes, you have to use detergents such as Woolite because it does not contain bleaches, phosphates or enzymes that may destroy your fabrics in the long run, because those are really harsh on clothes, especially delicate clothes. Tip number three is separating your laundry. So separating your laundry before you wash it is one way of preventing color bleed and fabric damage. For example, you can wash your darks alone, your lights alone, and your whites alone. And also separating fabrics is also one way of preventing them from getting damaged, shrinking, and color bleeds. Okay, and something else you should know about doing your laundry is when you're washing your darker colored clothes, turn them inside out to prevent them from fading. Tip number four is avoid overwashing your clothes. Not every piece of item that you put on your body needs to be washed every time you're done wearing it. For example, things like jeans, sweaters, jackets, those can be worn a few times before you wash it because overwashing them ruins the fabric in the long run. But then if you space out washing them, that preserves the quality and the fabric from getting ruined. Tip number five is storing your clothes properly. Heavier clothes like sweaters, those need to be folded because once you put a heavy sweater on a hanger, it's going to droop, and by the time you wear it, it's going to be weirdly elastic and it's not going to fit right, it's going to be destroyed. Sometimes for knits, the sweater can even split up, right? The threads of the sweater can come off, which is not good. So those heavier sweaters need to be folded to prevent them from overstretching. And also clothes like silk, you need to put them on padded hangers. You know those hangers that have a bit of padding to just preserve the quality and the fabric of the silk, especially around the shoulder. And also if you have clothes such as maybe jackets that you're going to wear once in a season or once in a while, try to put them in breathable garment bags to prevent dust from collecting on them, because dust is also another way for them to get dirty and all that. And another tip is try to get moisture packs. Put them in your closets. Those prevent mold. Oh my god, moisture packs are so important. If you have not yet invested in moisture packs, please do, because they're so important in preventing that excessive moisture from being in your closet and preventing your clothes from molding. Tip number six is to treat stains immediately. So once you see a stain, try to treat it as soon as possible, because you know for stains, the sooner you tackle a stain, the better. Once you see a stain on your clothes, try to get some baking soda and a bit of water and dab onto the stain. Don't rub onto the stain, just dab onto the stain to try to make sure that whatever is stained onto your clothes can be sucked by the baking soda, so that when you get to wash it, the stain actually gets out of your clothes. Because that's another reason as to why people just throw away their clothes or people's clothes get damaged, is you don't treat stains immediately. So once you see a stain, treat it immediately. And also try to move around with a stain removal pen, especially if you're always on the go, if you go to work. Try to work with a stain removal pen. They work wonders. Tip number seven is to invest in a steamer rather than an iron. As we know, irons are not the best for majority of the fabrics, and sometimes some fabrics cannot be ironed, but you just want to get the wrinkles out. So the steamer is just the perfect tool for helping you get those wrinkles out, especially when it comes to silks, because you cannot use an iron on silk. You can, but the probability of the silk getting burnt is way high. Steamers are way more delicate on the fabric, which is exactly what we want to do because we want to preserve the fabric. So try to invest in a steamer rather than an iron. Tip number eight is to rotate your clothes. Try not to wear the same piece of item every single time. Like, try to look through your closet and try to change out different jackets, try to wear different jackets, different shirts, because wearing the same clothes every time is going to wear it out very quickly. It's gonna get a hole in it, the color is going to fade out because you keep on washing it and wearing it. So try to rotate out your closet, try to wear different items, try to pair different items together to just make sure that all your clothes are equally being worn so that your clothes don't wear out. Tip number 9 is try to repair your clothes instead of replacing them every time. Guys, come on. Just because the button is off, you can get a really quick sewing machine and sew that button right on. Honestly, YouTube has tutorials, and if you don't want to do that, you can always go to a tailor. Sewing back a button is not as expensive as you would think, so instead of replacing an item just because the button is off, come on you guys, just get it sewed on. And even if it's just a zipper, even if it's just a small rip, go to the tailor or tailor it yourself. Try to avoid just replacing an item just because it has a small rip. If the rip is huge and it cannot be fixed, then that makes sense. But like if it's a small rip, then that can be fixed and it can be salvaged. Tip number 10 is be mindful of how you wear your clothes. For example, when you're wearing a knitted sweater, the type of jewelry that you wear with it is going to matter, because you know knits, it's easy for a piece of jewelry to get stuck in there, and once a thread is off, it's like your whole knit sweater is basically ruined. So try to make sure that the jewelry that you're wearing with certain clothes is gentle enough not to rip those clothes. That's the same for silks and satins. Just make sure that the jewelry you're wearing doesn't have spikes, because it will tug on the clothes and your clothes will be damaged. So be mindful of the clothes. And that's it for this video. I hope you guys have gotten to understand that taking care of your clothes doesn't have to be complicated, but it definitely makes a difference in preserving your clothes and making them look fresh for longer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and also share this video. Let me know some tips down below that you guys do to maintain and keep your clothes longer. Bye guys.